We are at it once again, reviewing your videos. Yesterday and on Tuesdays, we tend to look at the channels as a whole. We get a good picture of what they're doing with their titles, their thumbnails, and how we can help people get in the channel in the first place, get that click. And then today we help you go beyond that. What happens when somebody clicks on your video and then leaves? We want to make sure that doesn't happen. We want to make sure that doesn't happen throughout any of the video. It happens to all of us on all videos. We're going to try to do our best to help you improve that retention. And we might talk about thumbnails and titles a little bit too, because we always kind of do. And I say we because I'm not alone. This week, we are joined by Viper again. How's it going?
Oh, they let that Viper dude back in the building. Dan, what were you thinking?
Someone gave you the keys and I haven't been able to get them to deactivate the card and I don't know what to do.
Oh, man. What's happening, people? How y'all doing? I appreciate you guys being here today for these video reviews. So thank you for hanging out with me and Dan. We're going to try to give you some actionable feedback on your content because sometimes you can have the best title, you can have the best thumbnail, but for whatever reason, the video still underperforms. So at that point, we need to look at the actual video and the content of it itself. And that is why me and Dan are here today to give you some feedback on the actual video. So
here we go.
Let's do it.
The way this works is there are two forms in the description below. We'll be picking channels randomly about the second half of the stream. The first half, we have a few pre-selected videos that we're going to check out. But once we get into random selection, it's anyone's game. So there's two forms. Be sure to submit on the correct one. If you're a gaming channel, you have your own separate form. If you're a non-gaming channel, you have that form. So that's how that works. And that's it. You have the whole stream to be submitting, and we clear that form every single week. So if you submitted last week or the week before, you will need to submit again. All right, let's take a look at the first channel. Like I said, bunch of pre-selected ones. We're going to start with the ones that submitted first on the form, the lucky few that managed to get in there right at the start. And the first non-gaming channel who managed to submit was agiotezza Reviews. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I can't pronounce your name. But I do appreciate that you're 2 months into your YouTube journey, and this is already a really good start. We're already seeing hundreds, and then even one video here, thousands of views, multiple thousands of views with less than 100 subscribers, which is awesome. Remember, everybody, YouTube hates small channels is what they say. I love it when we see living proof that that's not true. So I did watch this video, Viper, before we got started because I was really curious. It seemed like this was not their first rodeo. And I just wanted to kind of get a sense of like the kind of content they make. So let me know what you think. I'll play like the first 20-30 seconds and let me know what you think.
Ever wanted to mount something with these holes on it and struggle to accurately get it placed where you wanted it to? It might have left you with some extra holes. Well, this video will show you an easy hack to get it placed perfectly every time. No ruler or calculator necessary. To make this work easy, you'll need what's called a dowel center point.
So that was the hook. We're about 20 seconds in. What are you thinking?
Damn. Yo, can I get you to make my video? Like, damn, like, this is excellent. Like, wow. We got right into the content, gave us a clear purpose for the video. I love the B-roll, and the better thing, Dan, and what we always talk about, he was talking over the B-roll. He wasn't just letting the B-roll roll with no sound, no music. He was telling us as the B-roll was happening in the background, or actually in the foreground, he was talking about what going to happen and what we can expect from the video. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love that when I click on the video, you as the creator, you're letting me know immediately what to expect and giving me some nice fancy B-roll as you do that. Definitely an amazing intro and definitely a video that I would continue to watch just because of the excellent introduction.
The reason I continued watching it before we went live is because this is actually a problem that I have. Even the smallest things, like the play button. This was an event hanging this because I hate hanging things on my walls. It's so if it's a picture frame with one little hook and you just have to put a nail in the wall, that's fantastic. If it goes beyond one nail in the wall, I melt. I just can't do it. So I saw the product he was talking about, and I'm like, this is genius. Like, this is exactly what I need. And this appeals to so many people. Like, it's no wonder this video has so many views in 1 month on a brand new channel, because you are speaking to the heart of a problem that anybody has ever had if they tried to hang something on their wall. And so this is great. This creator has made one crucial mistake. Just one that I could find. The B-roll is great, the lighting is great, the commentary is great, the audio is great. You've made one terrible mistake, and that is you didn't put any affiliate links in your description for this very fine product. And that's it. I think you could have already been making some money, because the first thing I did when I was thinking I kind of need this stuff, I went into the description to see if I could buy it and use your affiliate link, and it was absent. So at the very least, I kind of expected like a little bit of info, like a regular link to go get these, maybe not even affiliate link, and I would just tell you to make an affiliate link. But I think that was like the one last thing as the audience I needed for that last kick of value, and it pays you. You can get money on YouTube before you're monetized when you put things like that to practice. So never underestimate the power of an affiliate link. You never know what video in your first 4 videos is going to hit 2,500 views, and all these people are going to be wondering like, oh, how do I get this? And they'll be happy to click your link. And now your channel is already monetized before you've even hit YouTube's monetization. So not really a mistake that they made in terms of like channel growth or anything. Just an opportunity, missed opportunity. And it's not too late. I'm sure this is still getting views today. When you get a chance, get into some affiliate programs and get you some affiliate links in the description.
Okay, so I got one nitpick, and it's not really about the video, but it's about the title. Title's in perfect placement every time, but perfect placement of what every time? Like, I always talk about how there should definitely be an element of intrigue to the title, but when you put such a vague title like that, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. Maybe I guess the thumbnail does kind of compliment it, so I guess you can do that still. But
it does. But I agree. It's hard. The one of the questions I think they had on their form for us was how to make better thumbnails. And it's not a thumbnail stream, but I do think that is one area of improvement, and I think you're touching on it right there. It's a very vague title, and it's a thumbnail that isn't vague. Like the thumbnail itself is good, except it's also not, and only because it's hard to kind of see. Like imagine this at an even smaller size, and that's the size people are going to see it at. When you make thumbnails, you make them around this size. You're in Photoshop or whatever, but when you shrink them down, I think what you would have been better off doing was one of these. So there's 3 right now, 3 holes that you're trying to demonstrate. You only need one, and an arrow pointing out it's fine. And then you have half the thumbnail to put something else. And that's when you put the coat rack that we saw in the video, or a picture frame, like a small one, or something like that. And I think that would give people the visual cue that they need. It's working. What you're doing now is working, and it's your best performing video. And I would hesitate to tell you, you got to change all this. But since you asked about thumbnails as a lesson, I think that's all it's about. A thumbnail is just that visual cue of what the video is about. And so this is good. I think it could have been great.
Yeah, I mean, this creator is definitely on the right track, though. I mean, for everything that we're talking about today with the video, so obviously it has over 2,000 views. So yeah, well done on the intro. Also a great start. Keep up the good work.
Yes. Thank you for sharing it, by the way. And good luck on your channel. Really, really strong start. Now we'll take a look at the first gaming channel that's submitted to us on the gaming form. And that was CatAaron. Now, they said they did shorts. They have a couple long forms too, but they said they're taking clips from their live streams and turning them into shorts. And so I did watch the first one here. And it seems like they do a lot of stuff through like a VTuber. We'll watch a little bit of it. And I had a very like specific piece of advice. And when you watch shorts, that's kind of what you end up getting, is like really specific advice for me, because it's really all about the hook in the first few seconds to get people not to swipe away. So here's what it looks like. Oh, I'm sorry. You need the sound. Let me back up.
What I think I sound like when I sing.
So it's kind of like set up like a meme. And then the second half is what I actually sound like. And they just exaggerate their voice to sound like, it sounds bad. I think for this, it would have been a really good opportunity for you to use a really well-known singer and like actually put their track in the video. And you can do this with shorts, because YouTube Shorts allows for that, and there's proper attribution for doing that. And then you come on with your, like, what I think I sound like, and it's like this incredible singer. Like, think of the best singer you can imagine and use their song. and then play it for like 5 seconds and then come back as you and what I actually sound like. And I think what would happen there is you'd see a lot more views because it's a lot funnier, in my opinion. Humor is subjective, and you can use a popular song that a lot of people know and love, and they're less likely to click away if they happen to really like that song. That was one suggestion there. But you'll notice it's on the gaming forum. Where's the gaming? I want to look at. I haven't seen this one yet. Let's look at the Stardew Valley one and kind of see what they're up to.
If she likes wood so much, I can give her a bit of wood. Hey, why are you walking away? You want my hard wood, right? Thanks, I really like it. If she likes wood so...
Okay, I can see where this is going. What do you think?
I'm kind of frustrated, but not at the creator. I'm frustrated at YouTube because I need to know how long ago the short was posted. You know, like,
yeah.
Why did they let that go? Bring that back, YouTube. Renee, talk to him anyway. The problem I have with this particular short is that creator's avatar, channel, profile picture thingy, whatever, is covering way too much of the screen during this short. You're covering up a lot of stuff. Like, what's the purpose of that? Isn't the actual content supposed to be the highlight of the short? Because in this particular short, the highlight of the short, at least the thing that gave most of my attention, is this little avatar thingy, whatever this character. Like, what's the point of this character? Like, what is happening? But go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I get it, because the VTubers are basically used as a replacement for like a face cam. So people, instead of going on camera, they everything is done through a VTuber, and that's becoming really popular. So like, I personally I don't use VTubers. I don't tend to watch content creators who use them. I have nothing personally against them. It's just not like, I don't know. I like that connection with the person, and so it's just like a personal preference. I like that kind of content.
So I don't have a problem with the use of the VTuber. It's just that for this short, the VTuber covering half of the damn screen. Like,
yes.
Make it smaller. Like, why is it so big?
That's the thing. That's what I was going to get to as well. I think it's just in this particular case, the VTuber is quite a bit of the screen. They're just taking up literally half, like 5%. I
feel like I'm watching The Big Show or Andre the Giant out here, yo.
Yeah, and so Stardew Valley, like, here's the one thing about shorts like this. Stardew Valley is a very recognizable game with a very dedicated fan base, and so on the surface, this doesn't really remind you of Stardew Valley at first. Like, Stardew Valley is behind your head, and like, it takes a minute, and then you're like, oh, I see it now. So if you do stuff like this in the future, I would recommend playing with the VTuber a little bit, like changing the size of the avatar and doing different things so that it's, not always there. You'll also notice that with gaming shorts, whether or not they use a VTuber or face cam, sometimes they don't use their face cam. Sometimes they take the face cam out. Sometimes they pop it in and out. Like, sometimes when they want the facial reaction, they bring themselves back. And then sometimes they take themselves out of it. So there's a lot of different things you can do to, like, play around with this. And the reason we bring it up is because with shorts, a lot of people don't get to choose to watch it, right? So all they have is the first couple of seconds. And if it doesn't remind them of the thing they like, in this case, Stardew Valley, they're likely to swipe away. So we just want to make sure that you're keeping in mind those viewers when, you're making these shorts. These new viewers, I mean.
Indeed.
But yeah, I think in terms of the way you're making content, if I'm just to go into channel audit mode a bit, I think that this is still good. You're getting some shorts getting, thousands of views, which is great. Some are not. I would be looking at the ones like this that are getting 5,000 views, and like, what game were you playing? How did it open? Like, what was the hook to that short? And really start investigating those. And, then you can start to prioritize those clips of those games and stuff over other ones. So, I mean, it's just about trying things and iterating.
Dan, I have a question about YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
So I saw something on Twitter, I think yesterday, that apparently YouTube is allowing creators to make custom thumbnails for short, like actual like short thumbnails. Have you seen this on your end?
I've heard rumor this is a thing they're thinking about doing. I haven't seen any leaked images or anything. So you're saying there's like actual like images now?
Well, somebody said that they were able to make custom short thumbnails for their channel now.
Do they say it was, because a lot of people are assuming it's gonna be like TikTok where you select one frame, or are you saying they actually went in and like took a custom thumbnail and put it on?
Yeah, from my understanding, it's like they actually sat down and created a thumbnail that applies to a YouTube short, like we would do for a normal video.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I hope that's not true. on a personal level, because I think TikTok is doing a great job with the frame select style of thumbnails for the TikToks. I want shorts to be the same. I don't want the responsibility of also having to do thumbnail strategy for YouTube shorts. It's exhausting. It really is one of my least favorite parts of the YouTube video process. It's like I do my video and I do my titles, and that's a whole strategy. And then thumbnails are a separate but connected strategy. And I love the reason shorts is awesome is because I feel like there's no barrier. I can just, if I have something funny to say, I can post that video. I can think of kind of a catchy title and I can move on. I don't want to make really complex thumbnails for shorts. I don't want that feature embedded in YouTube, because once it is, then the competition has begun and everyone has to step up their game. And I'll do it, but I don't want to do it. I want it to be frame select. That's what I want.
Yes, let's keep the frame selection. I completely agree.
Yeah. YouTube, hear us now. Okay, so those were the first two channels that submitted for our video reviews. And like I said, there are 2 forms linked down below, and just be sure you're submitting on those forms. We're going to get into random selection here in just a little bit, but we have a few more channels we've pre-selected, a few specific videos we wanted to talk about. And what I've done is I've taken, if relevant, I've taken their form question and I just had it come up first. This channel was curious about audience retention.
Hey Dan, before we do that, Dan.
Yeah.
Let's talk to a couple of our people here.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Optin to Beauty for the £10 super chat. They're in Mackin would like to have their channel reviewed. Unfortunately, Optin, it does not work like that on any of our live streams. You cannot pay to have your channel reviewed. We have forms in the description that you have to go down there and fill out before the stream starts to have your best chance to get your channel reviewed. So while we appreciate your super chat, you will need to follow the procedure that we have outlined in the description if you want to have a chance for us to look at your channel. So thank you for that.
Real quick, once in a while on Max, sometimes, we don't do this every time, but sometimes we put out an extra form and we let the vidIQ Max folks fill that out, and it's a lot less competitive in there than the free to fill out form. So, keep on the lookout for that as well. But thank you for being part of vidIQ Max.
Absolutely. Shout out to RJ Animation for the $5 Canadian. Appreciate you. He says, does switching to social hacking animated content, i.e. animated Mr. Beast from animation meme content, a good idea? Audience-wise, are they the same? Social hacking animated content. I mean, if you talk about jumping on trends for any type of content is where it's at. That's what you want to do, because what that allows for is your content to be more appealing to a broader audience, because obviously if it's a trend, a lot of people are aware of that particular trend, and that trend is popular. That means that your video can have a potential to get more viewers if you're jumping on a popular trend. So I don't know if I would call it social hacking, as far as I would just call it trend hacking, or trend jumping is what it's really called. But yes, jumping on trends for any content, no matter what it is always a good idea if it relates to your content. Now, sometimes there are trends out there that might not necessarily relate to your content, then maybe not, but generally speaking, yes, jumping on trends, a very good idea.
I'm not sure what they're comparing. I would love to dive deeper on this one, but I just don't know what. I guess I don't quite understand the question, other than the jumping on trends part. Yeah, that's always something to do. But from animation meme content to audience wise, are they the same? Is like where I'm really hung up. It's like, are there two things being asked here? So I'm really sorry if we're not fully understanding your question. I certainly am confused. But hopefully there was a nugget in there, because what Viper's saying is not wrong.
And thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. If you send in a super chat and we have the time left in the stream, we will try to get to it. If you have a question in there, we'll answer it. And yeah, appreciate you. So next up is LuckyAcesRiding. And I have a couple of things. I looked at a couple of these videos beforehand. Before we watch the latest one, I'm just going to let you know, Viper, they don't talk in this one, but they do talk in other ones.
Okay. What was the question in your Dan box before we go to this video?
Dan box?
Remember, you added that new box to the forum?
Oh, yeah. They asked about audience retention. Just how to improve it. So I have some thoughts there, but I watched a couple just to see if they were like a silent film kind of channel where they didn't talk, or if they come on the microphone sometimes. And they do. It's just this particular video we're going to watch, they don't talk.
Okay.
So the thumbnail says sound test. The title is the actual bike, and it's talking about the exhaust. So yeah, it's kind of all related to, I guess the ASMR of motorcycle sounds, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the click paying off, I brought this up because in terms of the click paying off, I just kind of expected more of a review style video or a little bit more storytelling. So I started investigating the channel because I was kind of hoping someone was going to come on and like tell us about what we're going to do today. You know, tell us a little bit about the bike, you know, and explain a little bit about like why this matters. You know, what does it mean? Like if your bike sounds nice and clean like this one does, like what I don't know, maybe you could speak a little bit to the desires of somebody who's looking for a particular sound out of their engine or exhaust or whatever it might be. Sorry, not a bike guy. Then yeah, that would be really cool. But I guess I was just missing something. I was missing the why for this video. But what about you?
Okay, so this is kind of interesting because this is one of the rare times where a creator literally delivered on a click and it's not enough. Because we always preach on vidIQ about how you should deliver on the click. And with the thumbnail on the title, this creator definitely delivers on the click. But in this instant, like Dan said, it's not enough. You're just riding. The first thing that we see is the bike. You go from the black and white to the color display, which I thought was an interesting choice. But then you ride on the bike. There's no text, there's no talking, no narration, no nothing. So let's say that I'm a viewer, right? And I just happened to click on your video because I saw the thumbnail, but I wasn't really paying attention to the text, right? I just saw the bike in the thumbnail and I clicked on the video just to see what it's about. Now I'm looking at a video and I have no idea what's going on. It's just a guy riding around in his bike. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what the purpose of the video is. And none of that is outlined in the first 30 seconds. Now, obviously, if you look at the title and the thumbnail closely, then you might get an idea. But in the actual video itself, we have no context for what this video purpose is. And that is what I'm missing. I need context. And your silent treatment here doesn't give me that context.
Yeah. And I think I would be less critical of this if the video had like a lot of views, especially like compared to their subscriber size. It just seems like even with like maybe your regular viewers, it's just not really doing a whole lot. So I don't know. I feel like there's a way you can maybe tell more of a story. And the reason I say that is because they actually do it really well in this video.
Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. You know, and don't get me wrong. I love this bike. I love my Shadow 750. And I've actually put quite a bit into this bike, probably more than I should have. And it's set up exactly how I want it. You know, but over time, your mind starts to wander. And at the end of the day, the heart wants what it wants. And I'm confused, guys. I don't know what I want. Like I said, I love my 750 Shadow.
This is about 30 seconds. You can tell this video is going in a different direction. They're kind of commiserating about like the idea that they might replace their bike. What do you think of this one?
Much better, but I'm missing the why. Why is he not satisfied with his current bike? What is he not getting from his bike that he wants? Like, what is he missing? Like, if he's going to upgrade, what is he looking for in the next bike? So none of that is being said. Now, he might talk about it later on in the video, but in the first 30 seconds, we don't know. We just get the feeling that he's upset or he's not getting something from that bike. But again, what is it that you're not getting? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I think in 30 seconds, in that first 30 seconds, you want a really solid hook. Now, I'm an advocate for no intros, and I tell people not to use intros, but unfortunately, the word intro is a bit subjective, and I worry that sometimes when I say don't do intros, people think, okay, the video should look like this one does, where it just kind of starts. But as a new viewer, I can kind of see what you're doing, and I'm glad you didn't say, welcome back to LuckyAcesRiding and all that fun stuff. But I also would have liked a stronger hook. I don't feel like you took the time to back up the title. Is it time to upgrade is a really good question. And a lot of bike owners probably have this question. And this video did get more views than your subscribers. So it's certainly not a bad video. But if you had started off by saying, like, if maybe it was you vlogging, you're holding the camera, walking up to your bike, and you're like, I don't know, guys, I think it's time. I'm getting ready to upgrade this bike. And you scripted it a little bit more, because in that 30 seconds, you repeated yourself, I think a couple times, where you were talking about upgrades. You're not sure if you should upgrade. You love your Shadow 750. I think you said that twice. And I can tell you're not scripting your intros. You're just kind of speaking off the cuff. But if you had scripted the intro a little bit more, at least planned it out a little bit better, and then, you know, planned it a little bit more like a story, we would have got everything Viper said. We would have gotten the why, you know, here's what I'm thinking of doing. Here's why I'm thinking of doing it. And here's why it kind of stinks. And then we're much more set up to follow you on this journey now, this story. But with 30 seconds into the video, I started to wonder if I should click away because I didn't know where this was going. It just kind of felt like you were going to keep wondering out loud if you should upgrade your bike. And we weren't getting that like next step in the story that we kind of needed.
Yep.
However, with all that said, I think they're doing a lot of really cool things. I think they're doing a good job with thumbnails. They could be better. There's always room for improvement, but they're using nice big bold text. They're not using a ton of words. They're trying to use like different facial reactions and stuff here and there, and they're attracting an audience. There is an audience for what they're doing on YouTube. I think that this is just going to be a matter of practice.
Yeah, keep up, keep at it. That's the beautiful thing about being a creator and being on YouTube. The more you do this stuff, the better you get at it, like anything else. Because what's that saying? Repetition is the father of learning. You don't have no choice but to get better the more you do it.
Yep. So thank you, LuckyAcesRiding. Hope that was some help.
All right, Dan. Before we move to the next video, I need to address something real quick in the chat. So I want to address this comment by Beef Trends. Bike vlogs are oversaturated. All right. I've talked about this probably before many times on this live stream, but I'll talk about it again. The whole notion that something is oversaturated is mindset. There's really no truth to it. It's mindset. It's how you feel about the situation before you even take steps to enter into the niche. Nothing on YouTube is oversaturated. You want to know why? Because you're not there. And because you're not there, there is something missing from that niche that you could add to it, but you haven't decided to throw your hat in the ring yet. So it clearly is not oversaturated because you're not there. But this is mindset. If you have a unique view to offer or a unique personality, or if you have any value, or if you can teach somebody something, then you have value to offer to the niche. No matter what niche it is, I don't care how oversaturated it is, it doesn't have you yet. You have something to offer. As long as you have something to offer, it is not oversaturated. Get in there and do what you got to do and offer it. Because nobody, I've said it before and I will say it again, nobody, and I mean nobody, will make a video like you will make a video. Sorry about that, Dan.
That's all right. And then it's just interesting. Bike vlogs being oversaturated is an interesting comment because that channel, as I scrolled down, we saw videos with thousands of views on them. So I actually think saturation, just as a topic of discussion real quick, I think saturation is something that people shouldn't be really afraid of. Certainly if you're going into the Minecraft space, there's more competition and you have to try harder than you used to. Okay. That's just how time works. And when things get popular, a lot of people jump in. However, like Viper said, if you have a unique perspective, you can do it. You can break through. And we just saw it with that channel. If that's true, if there's a lot of bike vlog channels, that one's doing really, really, really well, like exceptionally well. So it's encouraging, I think, when I see channels like that. I think it's really awesome because it means, no, there is room. And the other reason you should be excited when something is popular and you're getting in on it, it's because there are people there who are so interested in this. They're probably willing to watch more than one creator, and that more than one creator could be you. Sometimes people are afraid to make a video about a topic because they're like, oh, crap, the biggest creators already covered this topic. But that's a good thing, because that means if the biggest creators are covering it, it must mean it's worth covering. It's worth their time. You know, some creators won't even upload without a sponsor, for example. So if they're willing to upload this video, these massive channels, then you should also upload something, because once people finish that 10-minute video, they might be looking for more info, and maybe you can give some more insights.
There you go.
Cool. We do have the next channel. It's Trading Card Guy. They say they make shorts, and they wanted to know about writing captivating stories in long form without losing viewers. So I wanted to review their shorts, but then when they said that, it makes it sound like they're doing shorts and they're ready to pivot to long form content. And the other thing they put on their form, which I want to talk about when we get to the channel, is what they think their channel is about: lore, creepypasta, theories.
What?
Yeah. And they're Trading Card Guy. And so I'm like, okay. So did they have a trading card channel and pivot? No, this is legitimately a trading card channel. Their last long form upload was 4 months ago. So we are going to take a look at the shorts. And then we'll kind of see what questions we can answer here. So if you look, like this one has 12,000 views. Darkest Giovanni's Pikachu Theory.
Ash's Pikachu is actually Giovanni's. The fan theory states that the protagonist starter Pokemon actually belongs to Team Rocket's ringleader, Giovanni. For starters, questions arise surrounding why Pikachu is a starter in the first place. In no other generation appears 4 starter Pokemon, or an electric type for that matter. Pikachu can also be caught in the wild, unlike other starter Pokemon. Further, Giovanni relentlessly sends his goons on hundreds of missions to capture this god-level Pikachu. What other reason could exist aside from Ash's Pikachu is...
They're doing a fantastic job with these.
Yeah.
Nice loop.
My only issue with this particular short is that I kind of feel like he cut away from himself a little too quickly when he was going back to B-roll. I would like to see him like talk for maybe a second or two more, but the cut's so quick that it kind of hard. And then this is the thing with shorts in general, right? When the content is so short, it's really hard for a viewer to establish the bond with that creator because the content just doesn't lend itself to doing that. But I think he cut himself out of the content a little too fast. But other than that, I mean, damn, like the cut, the B-roll, the text on the screen, like everything. Chef kiss.
Yeah. Really, really strong stuff here. And I think now I can kind of understand why they asked the question they asked, which was like, how can they tell more long form friendly stories? Because what they were doing on their long form side wasn't working as well. Like you have a lot of nice thumbnails here, and you got a lot of really cool stuff going on, but rarely would a video crack 100 views. And so going to shorts where you're getting like thousands of views, I think the answer to your question that you left us is already something that you probably on a subconscious level know how to do because you're doing it so well in shorts. Shorts is like what I love about YouTube shorts. Even if you're somebody who's like, I don't like YouTube shorts, just hear me out for a second. If you sit down and decide to just do your content in short form, what it does is it forces you to condense your storytelling in such a way like this creator's done. They only have 60 seconds max to tell the story they need to tell, and they only have like 2 seconds to keep people from just scrolling away from it. So it forces you to learn how to make a really strong hook, and it forces you to learn really concise, nailed down storytelling. So what I would recommend to this creator, if they want to do this in long form, which I do think it'll work, there's 2 things you can do. One of them, the most obvious thing to me, is to find a good, solid course on storytelling. Just the basics of storytelling in general. You might feel like you're already like past that point, and that's fine. I haven't watched all your videos, obviously, but that is literally like a skill, just like video editing is a skill that you have to learn for YouTube. It's just literally a skill that everybody can get better at. Sometimes people ask us, what's the secret to growing on YouTube? Like there's something we're not telling them. It's just sitting down and like learning a skill you want to improve. And this creator has identified that they would like to improve as a storyteller. So I'm not going to tell them to improve their editing. It looks good. I'm not going to improve them to tell their production quality. It looks good. It sounds good. Next to storytelling. So whatever that is to you. Another thing you can do is watch other people who are doing similar content to the content you want to do and start taking notes on their content, and not the content itself, but the way they've built the story. Why did their 10-minute story about Pikachu work so well? Like, why did you feel like you could sit through it past 30 seconds, past 2 minutes, past 5 minutes? Like, what was it about it? And then break down all the parts of that story. Like, okay, how many different elements were there? Were there any B plots in that story? Anything else going on? I watch a lot of commentary channels. I've just suddenly gotten addicted to like people doing commentary on just interesting, fun things. And these videos are sometimes, I watched one the other day that was 40 minutes long. And I swear to you, I didn't feel like 40 minutes because it just blew by. They were talking about a topic I really liked, and they told a really dynamic story. They had scene changes, and it's not just that. They did a good job bringing enough elements into it to where it needed to be 40 minutes. It was heavily edited, but by the end of it, I understood why it was 40 minutes long. It made sense. So that's how good of a storyteller some of these channels get to, but it's practice. You're not going to get it on your first try. And in fact, when you go back to making long form content, you might be frustrated all over again that you worked really hard and it's not translating, but you commit to it anyway. You keep trying, you keep iterating.
All right, so here's the thing, right? obviously you've tried long form content and it's not working out for you per se, but you are crushing it in short form. If you want to make longer video, just to like maybe free up some of your creativity or whatnot, I would consider live streaming. To be honest with you, that way you can talk directly to your audience. You can tell stories and do different things like that. And it seems like I feel like if you started live streaming, they will be receptive to you because you're getting great views on your short. So it's not like people don't want what you have to offer, but for whatever reason, you seem to be a better short form creator than a better long form video. But that does not mean you can't try your hand at live streaming and having that one-to-one direct interaction with your community. So that's something to think about as well.
You could do that. And the other thing you got to keep in mind too is that you called yourself trading card guy and you did videos about trading cards. And that's a tough space to break into. But you know what? You found a different market in the Pokemon space that wants your opinions and wants your stories. And absolutely, you could now pivot your long form videos to this style. And that's what you should do. If you're going to make long form videos that are like your short, or if you're going to make short form videos, and you want to pivot to longs, they should be the same type of video. So in this case, I expect videos like this in a long form format. If you went back to trading cards, I think you would struggle all over again. If you changed nothing and just started doing what you were doing before. Maybe there's a storytelling way you can take trading cards instead of collecting trading cards. Maybe it's telling the history of some of these trading cards. Like, you know, there's you've some here that aren't in English. Like, tell us about how many you know, holographic Charizards were made that weren't in English. You know, like you could probably tell a lot of really cool stories that way too. But yeah, you found a really creative outlet here, and you're doing really, really well. I have no critique of the actual video itself. I think it was a very, very well done video.
You know you're doing something right when you left Dan speechless.
Speechless. Completely speechless. All right. We have another pre-selected channel here. This one is golf content, and they said they're a videographer and editor by trade, and they really know their way around the production side, but what's more important, quality or quantity? So I think this is a very fair question. I think we can definitely dive into a discussion about that. I'm expecting that their content, like, they're not going to need us to tell them, oh, you should use more B-roll and you should. They've heard it all before. They're a video editor by trade. So let's go ahead and check out this latest video here. Can I beat a video game IRL? Let's compare Topgolf versus PGA 2K23.
Can I beat my PGA 2K23 Topgolf score in real life? Let's find out. When you play a video game, it's usually easier than real life. But I'm going to be turning the settings all the way up to Legendary and play the Topgolf version on PGA 2K23 and see how I can stand up in real life to my video game self. Let's get into it. All right, so in Topgolf, I'm only using the driver, and I'm also going to be avoiding these double.
This is 40 seconds. That kind of flew by. I was actually very interested to see where this is going to go. What are you thinking?
I don't really have much of a critique, but I do have a suggestion for you. When you first start off the video, as soon as we click on the video, you have you're on camera talking to us about how you're trying to beat your video game score in real life. How about instead of having your face on the screen, how about you have some B-roll of you playing the video game while you talk about wanting to beat that score in real life, and then cut to you trying to do it in real life. And the reason why I say this is because people don't know you, but what they do know is 2K23, PGA Tour 2K23. So as soon as they click on the video and they see clips of 2K23, they know they're in the right place. They know that they have an idea that, yes, this game is going to be involved in this video in some way. And then again, once you intro what you want to do, cut back to you in real time, and then we can go to the split screen of you on the golf course versus you in the video game. And I think that would have been a better way to begin it than just having you on camera talking about what you want to do. What do you think, Dan?
I think you could have added a little bit more gameplay. It's about making that click pay off. You know, so if someone clicks on your title and your thumbnail, and they're expecting some PGA 2K23, it did take a little bit for that to actually appear on the screen. Like, it starts with you. And so it kind of looks like a vlog in that case. And then it's you golfing in real life. I love this effect of like the logo of the game popping up here. That's all well and good to me. But yeah, I really like the concept for this video. But yeah, a little more wouldn't have hurt. It's just about that confirmation to the viewer. People's attention spans are short, so it helps. I think so. Your question was quality versus quantity. And I think in your case, we're getting this question because you, as a video editor, probably spend a lot of time editing these videos, and you might wonder to yourself, is this like, would it not be better to just, edit lighter and then put out more videos? And I would say to that's like certainly a thing you can do. I think there's a balance there, but it's hard to I'm only saying this because this creator has been like at this, for a minute, a few months now, not a ton of videos, but a few months. You can tell because of their production background, they're probably putting in that extra work here. Where would you be right now if you had double the amount of videos on your channel? If you didn't spend as much time editing, but you would double the amount of videos, where could this channel be right now? And that's really the question. I think it's a balance, because every we'll call it hour that you take away from the video editing side to the, what do we call it? The content creation side, to making more content. I think there's a point where the scale tips and people click on your videos and they're like, oh, these aren't that good, because there's not a lot of editing involved, right? Like they just feel like you just kind of slapped this together. So you want to not sacrifice too much quality. But like, for example, Rob, his philosophy is you should just upload as much as possible, and it doesn't matter the quality. Like, you want to cut your teeth. That first few months on YouTube, you just want to get as many videos out as possible, because you're going to learn so much in that time. But if you sweat every frame of every one of these videos, might be what you end up with just 8 videos in 3 months, where you're asking yourself, should I have just done more videos? Like, should I not have spent so much time? So I would say yes, but to a point. Your quality is already really good, which sets you apart. But what is missing here, when we just look at the channel as a whole, Viper, I think what we're missing is a little bit more strategy. Like thumbnails and titles, I'm in a lot of these cases, I'm kind of asking myself, who's this video for? And because so much time is being spent on the video editing side, I'm wondering if that's taking away from that strategy side. Like, you're making these really interesting videos, but like, who are you making them for? And you can't answer that question, because sometimes maybe you're spending too much time in the editing suite.
Okay. I'm glad you talked about that, because I was going to think something about it too. Your thumbnail, you got way too much going on in these thumbnails, man. You got text, you got effects, you got 2 people in a lot of these thumbnails. You got big text. You do yourself a favor, simplify your thumbnails. The rule that I like to follow with thumbnails is just having like one main picture there, and then maybe adding some effects or something like that around the main picture, but don't clutter it. Obviously it's about golf, so we should be able to visibly see golf courses in your thumbnails, and in some of these we can, but they're all blurry, or you got big old people covering up the golfing, even though they're doing golfing motions. It's not always easy to look at these thumbnails and convey or relate that they're about golfing. So simplify your thumbnail. Don't try to do too much. Just make it as simple for the viewer to understand as possible. And I think if you improve your packaging, like Dan alluded to, you might get some better views on these videos. And the title too. The title could definitely use some work as well.
We'll scramble golf. We're in channel edit mode again.
See, look, that first picture. That's what I'm talking about right there. That very first picture. Simple. He's on a golf. He clearly is on a golf course. He's picking up a golf ball. I can see that just by instantly looking at it. That is what I'm talking about when I say simplicity in your thumbnail. That first one is perfect.
So what I'm trying to do is I want to find a channel like the one that this creator wants to have, right? Or I assume you want to have. I don't know anything about you personally, but let's just kind of go down this rabbit hole for a second. And this is what I'd be doing. Like, if I had a channel like yours, and I was kind of wondering how to like get more people to watch, and like I'd be asking myself, well, who would I make these videos for? And a good example would be to just look at one of the top channels in your space and try and figure out, like, okay, what are they doing, and try and identify who they feel like their audience might be. Maybe this is the same audience you're trying to capture. So look at the concepts of some of their videos. The Garage Sale Golf Challenge. And they made a very simple thumbnail here: garage sale, and like 2 people are like holding golf clubs and about to shake hands. 18 holes, 1 video. It's a versus, so you got two people that are competing. The greatest golf match I've ever played. Really simple concept there. They didn't call it like Golf Scramble Part 2 or anything like that. They were very basic with that one. The greatest golf match I ever played. We challenged a former world #1 golfer to an 18-hole match. That sounds really cool. They put him in the thumbnail, and they have themselves in the thumbnail, and they're going to challenge this like a challenge video with like the top golfer ever. That's great. So this video is for golf fans. These videos are for golf fans. They're not for people trying to learn how to play golf. They're people who are interested in the sport of golf in general. They're not looking for tutorials or anything like that. And I think this channel is one you should look at because it's very, very similar, I think, to the one that you have. Because you're also not trying to teach anybody golf here. You're trying to challenge yourself. You're trying to take golf in a different direction and attract an audience that just enjoys the sport. So I really like this concept for a video, this latest one. I agree with Viper in this case. There's a lot going on in this thumbnail. I think you had the right idea with putting you next to a video game avatar, but that's implied. You didn't have to also add text that says IRL versus video game. It's implied, especially with the 2K23 logo in the background of this one. We didn't need the Topgolf logo in this one. So simplifying your thumbnails and asking yourself every time, who did I make this video for? And if they were to see this title and see this thumbnail, I've never seen my channel before, would it make sense? Did I overcomplicate it? Have I explained the concept well enough to someone just scrolling by on YouTube? And that's the practice part. And that's why maybe, to answer your question, the quality over quantity, maybe for you right now, you need to lean more into quantity so that you can sit down and go over this part of YouTube more than the editing part. The editing part you have down, and you can always go back and start spending more time on that. But you got to get the strategy down too. There's a balancing act there, and you only have so much time in a day.
Indeed. Before we move on to our next channel, shout out to the Big Chico Show for the $4.99 super chat. Nothing
Thank
in
you.
the chat, but we appreciate that. So thank you very much. Next, we got the top 10 Den with the $5 Canadian. Says, would a video on how to get senior discount at any age be good? I made it. I watch it. Absolutely. Definitely. But I think it has to be more specific. Like, get senior discount for what exactly? You just can't make a vague video talking about how to get senior discount and not let me know what the discounts are going to be for. So give me a particular item or something that they're going to be useful for. And I think you're in the ballpark. You're in the game with that one. I like that.
That's good call out. That's exactly what I was going to say too. It's senior discounts can be for anything. So maybe it's a whole series. Maybe you're doing restaurants one day and stores the other. The topic of the video is something I'm a little bit concerned about. It's not for me to judge. I would just look at YouTube's community guidelines, compare your content, make sure you're within bounds there. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like the kind of content you're suggesting might be something that people might take offense to. Senior discounts are set aside for a specific group of people. So it's just something to be aware of. You don't want to cross YouTube community guidelines, and you don't want to cross angry commenters on YouTube.
Yeah. Also, you have to be careful because if you are doing something that's going to undercut brands and their ability to make money, them brands are coming for you. And I'll give I'll give you a perfect example. So a few years ago on YouTube, Apple did a sweeping takedown of videos that taught viewers how to get into their developer program. So this comes into play like if you when Apple has their developer conference and they release a new version of iOS, normally the public doesn't get access to that new update until the fall, but developers get it in the summertime so they can make their updates and have their apps ready. But there are a lot of videos that come out around that time from creators telling you how to get into that developer beta program when it comes out in June before it's available to the public. Well, a few years ago, Apple was like, no. And they came off and they hit a lot of people's videos because they were helping people skirt around their rules. So you got to be careful with that stuff because the brands will come at you if you are doing things that take money out of their pocket.
And they are saying their videos on the up and up. They checked into all that, which is great. Just to jump on that though, what you just said, there is a concern. So if you're trying to use your channel to grow a business and make money, but you are somebody who is commonly combative with brands just at large, or you're doing things that a brand would frown upon, it does become harder to get sponsorships in the future because people will investigate your content and they're going to see that, gosh, this person really does a lot of things that are counterintuitive when it comes to advertising products. They seem very anti-brand, whatever that might be you're covering on your channel. So if people like the Apple situation you just mentioned, I have to imagine those creators in the future will have a harder time working with Apple because of that bit of tarnish they've just put on their reputation.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, always keep stuff like that in mind. And then we got one more here from Caves Plays. Any video ideas for a review and challenge style channel? I'm mainly doing IRL style videos. Hard to give ideas without seeing the channel. Review and challenge style channel.
It really depends on what are you doing when you're recording your videos in real life? Like, what's happening? Because usually those type of videos are structured around a particular challenge or a particular event. So it really comes down to what exactly are you doing in your videos, and then you can structure a challenge around what the thing is that you're doing.
Yeah, I think trending challenges, like let's just go really general advice for you for a second. Trending challenges, things you've seen other people do that took off. Can you replicate them, and can you do it safely? Can you do it in a way that isn't going to hurt anybody? But yeah, that's always good. Like if you're just inventing challenges from thin air, I'm not saying that can't work. I'm just saying it's maybe a slower route. But if you're going to do something that a lot of people are tackling right now, that's a good way to get started.
K Plays, I just need you to listen to me very, very carefully. Whatever you do, you stay away from deodorant, stay away from the toothpaste. I am tired of going to these stores and having to have deodorant and toothpaste locked up. It's bad enough the detergent's locked up. So I'm tired, okay? Y'all stay away from the toothpaste, stay away from the deodorant, stay away from the detergent. Thank you very much. Okay?
What's going on? What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't know about this?
No, I don't know who you're referring to right now.
So basically, Dan, what's happening across the country is that certain stores are locking up deodorant. They're locking up toothpaste. They're locking.
I heard about that, but
they're locking up.
Where did the comment come from?
No, because he's doing challenge videos. That's how they do it. Well,
okay.
You remember the Tide Pod challenge back in the day? And part of the reason why
I forget
locking up the detergent because of the Tide Pod challenge.
My teeth still won't turn different colors. How can I forget? I didn't do that. I'm just kidding. We're getting a lot now. Thank you for your super chats. We're going to take a few more of these because we're about to get into random selection, and this is a good breaking point for that. I'm an advanced travel hacker and always find perfect legal ways to make more for less. That's awesome. Sounds like you have a really good, solid positioning there for your channel. Best of luck to you. Any advice on scripted comedy channels? Again, covering topics that are possible to kind of search for. If you're going to do kind of scripted comedy, I imagine you have an opportunity to talk about things like common things people deal with, or products, or topics that people are currently invested in some way, emotionally, financially, whatever it might be. So I think, again, if you're going to just kind of start a channel where you're sitting down, you're talking about something, or you're trying to be funny, it's really important to find a trend and find your way into that trend. And you got to keep doing that. It's not going to work on the first try for most people. So you have to just keep making those types of videos. But the biggest mistake I see comedy channels and things like that make is they get into it and they just kind of talk about whatever. And it's clear there's not a lot of research done into what they're going to be making jokes about. So it's not searchable. And if YouTube tries to put it in browse, people aren't clicking on it because it's just about something obscure that isn't really on people's minds, and they're not sure what they're going to get when they click into it. It's all about that relatability with that kind of content. And then one more here. I uploaded a short. It gets 0 views in the first hour. I delete it. I re-upload it. An hour later, it gets thousands of views. Will that hurt my YouTube channel? I don't think so. It's interesting that deleting it and re-uploading it is changing the outcome. I wonder what you're changing when you delete it. Do you change the title? Do you play around with the strategy at all? But yeah, no, that's something people do. I wouldn't recommend it, just in the sense that, I don't know, it just seems like a funny habit to get into. If that was just what I had to do regularly on YouTube, that would make creating just less fun. I want to post videos and I want to move on to my next video. I don't really want to sit there sweating every minute of every video I post and watch it not move for, you know what I mean? And with shorts, it's very common for them to do nothing for the first hour or so, especially when you're just getting started, and then suddenly take off.
Yes, because you got to remember, a short doesn't really take off per se until it hits the short shelf, and there's no timetable on when it might hit the short shelf. You can upload a short, and it will do nothing for a week, 2, 3, 4, maybe a month, 2 months. But once it's that short shelf, no matter what time that is, that's when it's going to start getting traction. So I don't know if I would continue to do that. If I were you, I would just be patient and wait for it to hit the short shelf before, so it can get its organic, natural views.
You get to a point, and I showed this yesterday during yesterday's stream, you get to a point where when you start uploading shorts a lot and consistently, and they're about a similar topic, it's easier for YouTube to bring them to your returning viewers, right? The people who've watched you before. And if it's about a similar topic, they're likely to watch because they watched before. And so you notice your shorts, the graph looks more normal, like a long form upload, because YouTube isn't having to try as hard to figure out, okay, who's this for? And they're just kind of shopping it around. So you know, maybe just, you know, with your overall channel, be patient. You know, just keep uploading, keep making videos that appeal to that same audience over and over again, and you'll find that you're not having to wait for an hour for your shorts to like finally get views. Cool. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your support for all the free content we make here on the channel. We're going to make some more free content right now because we're going to get into random selections. So the way that works is you've been filling out the forms below, and now we are literally going to use a random picker to grab them, and it looks a little bit like this. It's the claw.
Yeah,
There it is.
back,
and all its
back in the building.
claw-y glory. That was hard to say.
Claw-y glory.
Okay, so on the forms, the non-gaming form has 333 folks. The gaming form is almost 300 people. So I'm going to update the claw. And we're going to put in 350. And then we're going to pick. And pick number 80. And we're going to do the gaming form. It's been a minute. So let's go on the gaming form here and choose channel number 80. It's PinePart. And there's a dot after it, but I don't know if that dot is like part of it or not. So we'll try. And they want to know how to keep their attention, which is exactly what we're here to do today. All right. So it looks like we're taking a look at a Minecraft channel. And look at this. 1,000 views from 5 days ago. All right, cool. Let's take a look at your latest video.
Welcome back to 1 hour of Minecraft Hardcore. I believe this is episode 12. So in this episode, I'm going to get started right away. Last episode, if you missed,
You told me you were going to get started right away, but you waited until 12 seconds to tell me that. You did not get started right away. You're a liar. No. Intros. Intros are going to be your biggest thing. So your question was, how do you keep audience retention? It's going to be your intros. I like the way you started the video. I've seen way more disastrous intros. Like, this was good. This was not great, though. So here's what we'll break this down.
welcome back to
I'm a new viewer. So welcome back to does not apply to me. And with the way you've titled the video, I don't feel like we need episode 12. I don't feel like we need to let everybody know that I'm coming back. This is episode 12. This is like this whole series. Because in just a second, you're going to say, this is episode 12, blah, 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 blah. This to me doesn't feel relevant. I feel like you can make this video. It can literally be episode 12. And you don't have to say all this. We don't need all this song and dance. Like, just what's the challenge of the day? So it's an hour of Minecraft Hardcore. You've edited into 9 minutes. Love that. Love that you've taken an hour's worth of footage and crammed it into 9 minutes. That means we're going to see a heavily edited video, which is what we want to see. And you called it the best simple base. And a lot of people are watching this video. People like that you're playing Minecraft Hardcore and you're making really awesome looking stuff. So do that. Do those things, but try to avoid this whole episodic thing that you're doing, because it doesn't feel welcoming to me as a new viewer.
Yep.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I didn't give them too much of a chance here.
episode, if you missed it, I got a ton of shulkers. So
that is context we need. As new viewers, we need to know what happened last time. But I think you can do that a lot faster and without telling us all the other stuff you said before. So what you do is you give the hook of the video, which is going to be something like, today we're going to try and make a simple base in hardcore, right? And you're going to talk a little bit about the process you're thinking of going for. And then in that conversation about here's what we're going to do, you quickly slip in there. if you watch the last one, you know that I got all these shulkers last time. And then keep talking, keep going. Don't linger on the fact that you in the last one, because you don't want people to stop watching because they feel like the whole video is about 11 other videos they didn't watch yet. So it's all about that mindset of like, this is for new viewers. This is for new viewers. Constantly remind yourself that this is for new people coming to the channel who've never seen the series before. And there's going to be something in there for the people who have seen it before, just automatically, in that you're in the same world and you're building it up and building it up. But I think there's just when you talk about retention, the reason I'm being like so nitpicky about this is because I think that this 12 seconds of the video, now up to like 17 seconds, most of this didn't need to be in the video. I think the video could have started a lot sooner, and I think that's going to help your retention graph not drop at the beginning like you may or may not be seeing. Anything to add?
No, I think you covered it all.
For right now, I'm gonna go and collect a bunch of wood, I think. Now, the only
Okay, I have a nitpick now. There is an air of uncertainty in your voice, and I can detect it. And as a viewer, it's kind of annoying because when I click on your video, I'm expecting you to be the expert at Minecraft. So I expect you to exude confidence, and I am not getting confidence from listening to you talk about what you're going to do in this game. So I'm going to need you to have a more confident presentation in your future videos, man. You should know what you're doing. You should know Minecraft like the back of your hand. You should not be apprehensive and trepid when you're putting out this content. So I need more confidence.
That would definitely help. And it would speak to you going into your recording session with a plan. Like, if you're going to survive in Minecraft hardcore, just for anyone who doesn't know the stakes here, if this person dies in their hardcore world, it gets deleted. So those months of work they do is gone. And that's why people watch this, because at any moment the series could end. So the stakes are automatically really high. So when you go into this recording session, you should treat it with that same level of respect, and you should have a plan. I think I'm going to gather some wood. Do a little bit of pre-planning so you know step by step what you're going to do. And whether or not you explain it to the audience is irrelevant to me. It's just having that plan is going to make for a really cohesive video, and it's going to make your edit a lot easier too, because you're going to know like the chapters, if you will, of this recording that you did for 1 hour. Great call out there.
old mind. Welcome back.
Well, I skipped ahead. Sorry. Channel audit mode for just a second. I like what I'm seeing here. I think their thumbnails are good. I think there's some improvements I would make personally, but they're good. They are trying to communicate a clear message here, especially this latest one. The before and after is really good. I would have zoomed in a little bit more on the house. There's like a lot of negative space on the right side of your thumbnail, but yeah, you know, it's just keep making those incremental improvements for a channel with less than 300 subscribers playing Minecraft, getting over 1,000 views. Like, I know channels that are here right now that are probably looking at this and going, how the heck are they doing that? How are they getting 1,000 views with less than 1,000 subscribers? How are you doing it? And it's because you're making content people want to watch. You are making content that is obviously specific to a certain type of viewer. You have that, you know, strategy going on, which is great. The Warden Must Be Stopped. This one got over 1,000 views. This 1 hour of hardcore is probably helping. I think 1 hour of hardcore is probably like maybe a string of keywords that for you work really well. For us, we found a few of these in our time. And like for us, it was like for a while, small channels do this. Once we started doing that, we realized, wow, like the small channels thing works. And so we used it for a while. So you have that right now, probably with 1 hour of Minecraft hardcore. And I would even look into that using your YouTube analytics to see if I'm right. That could be one of the keys here to your success. And then I would say, if you can nail down these thumbnails, if you can get them even better, maybe take yourself like a Photoshop course or something, just something free on YouTube. If you can get even better at thumbnail design, oh my goodness, like you might have something huge here. But keep catering your videos to those new reviewers and keep making those improvements.
There you go.
All right, Claw, what do you got? We're gonna do a non-gaming channel, 291. And it is the Electron Age. Unboxings, reviews, and repair. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today, by the way. We're doing video reviews. Appreciate you. The forums are down below if you would like your channel randomly selected or potentially randomly selected. So one of these is an hour long. I'm kind of wondering if it was like a re-uploaded live stream or something. I kind of want to watch a normal length video from them.
Yeah.
TDK head demagnetizer cassette.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Electron Age. Today I was going to do a repair video of a cassette Walkman, but I didn't get all my equipment set up in time, so finally I'm just gonna do a short video demonstration of this cassette demagnetizer, or precisely this TDK head demagnetizer cassette. So as you can see, it's basically a normal cassette case.
So we're 30 seconds there. What do you think?
Okay. I'm gonna be stupid, so I'm gonna approach it as the from watching from a person that doesn't know what the hell going on. What is a head demagnetizer? What does that even mean? Like, what does that do to the tape? I don't know. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing in this video. So your title doesn't really tell me much because I don't know exactly what demagnetizing the cassette tape does. Like, did that erase the film, or like what is this? Or is it a new type of tape? I don't know. Wait, what is that? And then I'm gonna give the critique that Dan just gave to the last person. We don't need to welcome back to the electron age, blah 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 blah. The video should start when you said today we're going to repair this tape, this, that, and the other. That is where your video starts. We don't need to know that you're in the electron age. It says right there at the bottom of the page, the electron age. We know where we're at. So just get into the video and let us know. But tell me about this process and what it's supposed to do for the tape, because I don't know. I mean, I know tech, but I was born in 1982, so I know something about cassette tape, but I don't know anything about what's going on in my screen right now. So I need to know what you're doing with the tape and what is the purpose of the demagnetizer, or what is its purpose? What is it doing? So I just need more info.
Yeah, we're not getting a lot here. Like, if they're repairing it, what's wrong with it? You know what? Like, why is it broken? How do you know it's broken? What's it supposed to do? What's it not doing? And in the first 30 seconds, the reason we're picking on this now, because maybe you're like, well, yeah, just keep watching. It's 2 minutes in. Like, in the first 30 seconds is when that hook needs to kind of contain some of that information, so we know to stick around. We know the click paid off. But right now, like, most of that 30 seconds was you saying you were going to make a different video, but instead you're going to do this video. But that different video never existed. I would never know of its existence, and so therefore to this video that I clicked on as a new viewer, it's irrelevant. Whatever you were going to do that day that got blown up because you didn't have the right tools or whatever, is completely irrelevant to what I clicked on right now. If I want to know more about this product, I don't need to know what you almost did that day. So I would have taken that completely out of the video, which would have shortened your intro. It would have given you more space in that hook to tell us more about this and why we're talking about it today. That's like the biggest thing I think we can tell you. From there, the video just kind of started. Sony TCM 280 unboxing and review. So this video seems very straightforward to me. They're unboxing and reviewing a cassette player, recorder, whatever it might be.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Electron Age. Today we have an unboxing from the best. It's a Sony cassette recorder.
And this is a habit I want everyone else to get out of as well. Welcome back to the Electron Age. We already stated we don't need that because we know the title, or we know the name of the channel. Telling people that you're going to do an unboxing and what you're unboxing when it was the title and the description or the thumbnail of the video. You said you're going to unbox it in the title and description. That's why I keep saying description, in the title and the thumbnail. That's why I clicked on it. And then also, I don't know, maybe Viper, do you agree with this? If you're going to do an unboxing video, should you have the unboxed product in your thumbnail, or should it still be in the box? Does it matter?
Honestly, I think it can go either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a recognizable thing. And the unboxing isn't necessarily because it's a big reveal. People have seen product images before, I imagine. It's more about what comes in the box, how is it packaged, and blah, 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 blah. So, okay, I'll let that one go.
Yeah, these days unboxing videos are more about personality than anything.
Yeah, and that's another thing. What if you had some B-roll of the cassette player in the box like, and you have the camera panning around it and you're talking about it, today we're unboxing this, it was released in 1923 and blah 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 blah, and like you gave some facts about it and stuff, and like you're not going to believe like what they include with this thing in the box, hype it up a little bit. Again, it's all about like that really entertaining hook. So the suggestions we're giving you, some of them would be easy to implement in your next video. Some of them, if you wanted to implement them, might take a little bit of practice, a whole new process for recording. But these are just some of the tips and tricks we can give you to try to like help that retention rate. On the form, what did you say? I knew my video editing needs much work. Is there something else I can improve? Okay, yeah. So yeah, video editing wise, I guess I was just kind of getting into those tips. The biggest thing I would say you can improve is try to get out of the habit of introducing yourself in the video and telling us what we already know from clicking on the title and the thumbnail. Try to get into the content even faster. This is a 15-minute video. Ask yourself, like, does it need to be 15 minutes? Like, could you have edited it down a little bit to make it even more valuable and interesting?
Yep. All right, before we move on to the next creator, I want to address the comment from Sarah Ray in the chat. She said, I thought if you said your titles and keywords in the video, it helped SEO. Yeah, it can, but I think that stuff is more important for the actual title, text, and the thumbnail and your description. It does help a little bit if you say it in the video, but you still got to do it in such a way where you are making a natural presentation to a human being. Just don't throw keywords and stuff in the video just to appease an algorithm, because an algorithm is not watching it. Human beings are watching it. So you have to make it naturally organic to a human being.
Yeah, right, for humans. We can look at the front page of YouTube right now to just kind of get like a sense of what this looks like. Because when people talk about browse, this is what they're talking about right here. The front page of YouTube, as you're scrolling through YouTube, if I click on any of these videos, that would be browse views. I just gave it. I didn't search for it. It's in browse. So Think Media has one. If I started a YouTube channel in 2023, I'd do this. And it's a YouTube guide. Now, you might look at that and go, YouTube guide sounds like a great YouTube keyword for my SEO, right? But YouTube has like evolved to this point now where it's gotten smarter and smarter and smarter. So if someone types in YouTube guide, there's a good chance this video may come up for them. It doesn't necessarily have to say YouTube guide in the title. There was a time on YouTube where you had to be that specific, but now YouTube's AI has gotten so smart that when it sees YouTube guide, I have to assume anyway, because I've seen evidence of this myself, it understands what you're trying to ask it. You're trying to ask it how to grow on YouTube. So, and because we're vidIQ, we're probably going to get a lot of like tailored results right now, but literally YouTube guide. How to start a YouTube channel, YouTube beginner's guide. How to get started on YouTube. This video doesn't have guide anywhere in the name. It's just from a popular creator. The thumbnail doesn't even say guide. How to create a YouTube channel, beginner's guide. Some of them say guide, some of them don't. So if your video is performing well, if it's ticking all the right boxes, if it's helping people who generally just have that question that they're asking in search, it doesn't necessarily have to be a one-for-one match with keywords. And that gives us the flexibility to really play around with our titles and thumbnails now in really fun ways, so that they don't have to be boring. New King, Canon's best new camera for YouTubers. In the very end of the title, they put Canon EOS R10 review for the purposes of keywords. You would think, and there was a time again where that would be the first thing they would put. That's like Canon EOS 10 or R10 review, the new best camera for YouTubers. Like, you can kind of go either way with that title, but these days you prioritize like the most interesting bit of the title, and you save the more keywordy part, if you feel like you need it, for like the end of the title, where it could potentially get cut off on mobile, but it's okay.
Yeah, remember, you're not making content for a computer. You're making content for living, breathing human beings. And you have to think about that and structure your content as it relates to making it where a human can easily understand and digest it. If you want to satiate the algorithm or the robot, you can do that with your description. You can do that with your tags, different things like that, to make it easier for the robot to determine where to place your video. But ultimately, your main objective and focus should be to make your video more digestible to actual human beings. I promise you, if you do this, the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah. It's really, these days, it's all about winning the click with that really eye-catching title and thumbnail. And you can still cater videos to search too. You can still do basic how-to videos. I just think I always kind of look at it as like two different buckets that you're putting your videos into. You have the search bucket where sometimes you make really highly searchable content only for new viewers who are just passing through. And then you make the more, interesting, clickable titles and thumbnails for videos that could be full of information that would help people, but it's also, for entertainment purposes, whatever it might be. I'm rambling a lot. Hopefully that answered the question. All right. Where were we on the claw? It was the Electron Age. We're on a gaming channel.
Yeah, we're on a gaming now.
All right. It's going to be 339. Are we even there on the gaming forum yet? We'll go to 332. That's fine. 29,000 subscribers on this one. They did not give us any questions or anything like that. They do IO games. I kind of know what they mean there. Gamer IO, 29,000 views. All right. So title, thumbnail wise, I'm sure you're good. We're not here to audit your channel. We're here to take a look at your videos. Okay. So the video is 100 kills in 5 games. They introduced at the beginning a kill counter and then tucked it up in the corner. And we're literally watching just that. We were watching them run through the level and work towards 100 kills in 5 games. It says game 0 out of 5, but wouldn't this technically be game 1? I don't know. Maybe that's explained later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, title, thumbnail wise, click is paying off. 1,000 views, 29,000 subscribers. Why do we think that video did not do it? Well, it's 6 hours ago. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it said days.
How about they did? Did you see it when it was uploading?
Yeah, no, this channel's doing good. I when I see channels like this, I always wonder, did they submit because they want to be an example for how to have the click pay off, or do they have some questions?
I think a lot of people just want to see what we will say about their content because we are the professionals. But yeah, I'm with Dan. I don't really have much to say. I think me personally, I would like to have some sort of narration, but I don't think the content isn't the type of content that lends itself to narration. We're literally just watching you play a game, and you made that clear in your title and thumbnail. So you're literally delivering on the clip without saying a word, and the views are showing that you're doing a great job. So I don't really have much to say. Me nitpicking, I would love to have some type of voiceover just to get like an intro to what you're doing, but clearly that's not necessary because your content doing well. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like, it'd be cool to have like some voiceover, but then I saw how they're doing captions, and these are very readable. No gold items, so they're kind of telling a story without overdoing it with captions. So this is certainly a way. If you didn't want to put your voice on your gaming videos, this is certainly a way you could do it. You just don't want to over caption your videos. If you're writing whole paragraphs and you're expecting people to read them, they're not going to read them.
No, they're not.
But when it's just a few simple words with nice big bold text, like this is totally readable. And they did a good job with editing. They picked some catchy music. I've already unlocked all the items. And remember, the video is the end of Survivor IO. So yeah, they're using storytelling in their content very effectively. They're doing really well with titles and thumbnails, and they're not even cracking a mic, which is great. It's great to see. So keep up the good work. I think this is a good channel for people to look at as just an example. I have no other critiques. If you had asked a question on the forum, that would have given me a little bit to go off. Maybe the question would be like, "Oh, my game is dying. What do I do?" or something. But yeah, we just don't know. All right, we'll pick a non-gaming channel. 169. And it's going to be
entertainment.
And
they have no question.
No questions.
Dear grief. Oh no.
They say they do long form videos, they said. So we will focus on these. I got heads 100 times in a row. Okay. I can kind of see where they're going here with titles, thumbnails. Let's take a look at this one.
This is a coin, and I'm going to be getting heads. This is a coin, and I'm going to be getting heads 100 times in a row. By the way, that was those heads. As you can see, I painted it red on the head side just so you can see the difference between heads and tails. Now, the chances of me actually doing this are so small that it's 1 in a 1 million chance, which is this big number right here. Now, as I'm progressing through this, I'm going to be doing more difficult coin flips to keep things interesting. We're at 7 right now. 8, please. Oh my god, yes. Okay, 8. Come on. Oh, jeez. No way, no.
I was gonna say you got to show it.
Look.
I thought they were just gonna tell us it was heads. Okay, interesting. So interesting in the sense that you took something as simple as flipping a coin and you turned it into a challenge video. Editing wise, I'm pretty excited about what they've done. What do you think?
You know, we got to bring out bad cop Viper here. So, am I really supposed to believe that you flipped a coin 100 times in a row?
That's why you clicked on it, though. You want to see if they're full of crap.
You edited it out. Like, there's edit. There's clear edit, which means that you could have cut off some parts where you didn't hit the heads. Like, you can't prove. Listen, I was born at night, not last night, okay? I understand what's going on. I appreciate the content, but I don't believe that you would have sat there for however long it took you to do that 100 times in a row. So, hence the heavy editing, because otherwise, this would have been like, this would have been a straight one-shot video of you sitting there doing it 100 times with no edit. But kudos to you for the idea. Actually, the video is cool. The editing is cool, for this video. I don't know if editing a fair thing, but hey, good job. The one thing I will say about to the creator and about the channel is that, can you please do something about your channel banner? It makes my skin crawl.
Where is it? I didn't see it. Oh.
Yeah, no. We don't want that. You need to do something about that. No, man. You need to put some type of value proposition up there before I even think about clicking the subscribe button, man. You gotta do better than that, man. Y'all, listen, you all, do better than this. Please don't do that. Go ahead, Dan.
So yeah, my comment was going to mostly be about
this.
So I really like what I'll call the Mr. Beast inspired like editing style and thumbnail, everything. Like, I think what you're doing is on the right track. Where you have really clickable thumbnail, and the title complements that thumbnail, and vice versa, really nicely. I think for you, it's just going to be a matter of time. You just got to keep making videos, getting yourself out there. One of these days, you're going to make a challenge video that just kind of hits all the right buttons, and YouTube's going to give it a little more attention, because people who are clicking on it, like, it's going to put it in front of your regulars, and they're going to click on it a lot faster than they normally do. More of them are going to click on it. YouTube's going to go, hey, wait a minute, what do I have here? And it's going to share it with a few more people, a few new people, and then they're going to click on it, and it's going to snowball in that way. So that's going to happen for you. I believe that. I do think that you should keep doing things like this. I bought Twitter Blue so you don't have to, because right now this is a very like trendy thing to do. Flipping a coin, while approachable, everyone knows what that is, not as trendy, and also it kind of makes you think about, like, what does that video look like? But before I even click on the video, like, what am I getting into here? Like, when I click on this, how is this going to be like entertaining to me? And you made it entertaining. To be in your defense, you made it entertaining, but I don't know that before I've clicked on it. So the more like interesting topics that you do, like these big trendy ones, I think the more chances you'll have to succeed. Now, I say that, and I recognize that this video got less views than this one. That just be YouTube. But the margin is so small. We're talking about tens of views here that I'm just not worried about that. I think the example still stands. If you can keep doing things that are even more trendy, you're going to find some success there.
Well, the reason why that one video got less views is because it's about a completely different subject matter from what he's doing. Like, the bulk of his video are challenges, but that one video he's doing it seems like he's doing a review of Twitter Blue. Like, that's completely out of character for his channel.
That's a good point. Yeah, we're going from I'm going to challenge myself to more of a commentary video. Like, I got Twitter Blue, and you can assume they're gonna talk about their experience. That's not really a challenge. you know, it would have been, you could have used Twitter Blue in a different way to try and challenge yourself. I'm not sure how, because they did make it harder to impersonate people, but maybe you could try. How many brands can I impersonate? I'm sure that won't get you in any trouble at all. Don't worry about that.
Dan, I was trying to get people arrested.
But if you could have like found a more, something a little more similar to what you've been doing. I traveled 400 miles, took 500 pictures. Kind of interesting, but yeah, again, there's just that little bit missing. There's like something in all of these that's kind of missing, and I think it's that next level kind of thing, you know, that thing that's going to kind of put you on the map. But the only way to discover what that is to keep making content, to sit down, continue to brainstorm ideas, continue to try things. I would say out of all the spaces on YouTube, I think this is one of the hardest to break into, because you really got to get good at trend jacking. You really got to have that personality. Everything has to click. Your title, your thumbnail, your hook, your editing, and the idea. The idea is going to be everything for you. So, yeah, yep. I wish you luck. I know we went into channel audit mode there.
All right. I want to address the comment by Dingo. What does SEO mean? So SEO is search engine optimization. So let me repeat that. It is search engine optimization. And basically that means the way you title your videos. If you were using tags in your videos, what are you putting in your description? Hell, what are you putting on your about page? I told you all before that the algorithm even looked at your about page. And so if you are just leaving your about page blank or something like that, or you're not utilizing it, you're not doing yourself any favors on the platform. So you should definitely be properly filling out your about pages about the content that you're doing, so that information can be used to better place your video. So that's basically what search engine optimization is. It's basically doing all the things that you need to do for your channel and your videos to get them put in the right place and so people can watch them.
There we go. Let's check out the next gaming channel, courtesy of The Claw. And it's going to be 166. All right. They make long form videos, and they are saying to do gaming challenges. Their question for us is, why do views go down channel wide to the point where the channel is dead regardless of how popular the videos are? How can you fix this issue? I think we're going to need to take a look, because I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. I can't imagine what they're talking about. What was the question again? Why do views go down channel wide to the point where the channel is dead regardless of how popular the videos are? My question is, so
the biggest factor as it relates to that particular question is your upload frequency, I think. If you have a gap in between your uploads, and I'm seeing you're uploading frequently here, but if there was a gap in the past, then yeah, that gap is going to make your channel view go down channel wide. I actually know I have a big gap in my recent uploads, so I know how that works. The other thing is just the popularity of whatever you're talking about. If you're talking about a particular game that people aren't interested in anymore, you're not going to get that many views because people don't care. The interest isn't there. So it's about upload frequency and the topics that you're choosing to cover at the particular time, because it's all about timing as well. Again, if you're choosing a game that's like, 5-6 years old or whatever, a lot of people are not going to be caring about that. Right now, you need to be talking about Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, what's one that just came out? Callisto Protocol. Those are the hot games right now. If you're not covering one of them games, then it better be another popular game like Fortnite or Minecraft. Otherwise, again, the interest is just not there. So there are multiple variables and factors that can go into why your channel is dying channel wide. But the other way to fix that is just to upload more content. The moment you upload another video again, then the views start going up across the channel. So there you go.
More content. I mean, there's also, they're covering games that are like classic. I think it's a classic gaming channel, but they're doing challenges, which is interesting and all. But you'll notice, like, the more popular your game is, the more views you're going to get just naturally. So I'm guessing you have a sense. I don't know too much about classic games. I'm guessing you'll have a sense of which games are going to do better than others. But it's going to be hard. This is going to be a really hard space to break into, because a lot of these games, they're old. Even if it's the most popular old game, they're just old. So the ceiling, I have to imagine, is very low. Channels, we could talk about this a little bit more, but why don't we try to just look at one of your recent videos here and see what's going on? Okay, here's my other question then. In all of these cases, I like that you added a camera because it's a lot easier to see than this little digital controller. It looks like, okay, here's one. So one-handed games are a thing you're doing. I'm okay with this. It's just that it'd be easier for me to like get attached to you if there was a more of a personality behind the channel, right? Like I've seen plenty of speedrunning channels and stuff where they don't really talk. You know, they just kind of run through the game however they can, as fast as they can. But even in those cases, they have like a face cam. I don't know, how invested are people going to be in just kind of like your hand on a controller? I kind of wonder if you were to tell more of a story. These are very short videos. Maybe there's room for a little intro where you're like, today we're playing Super C NES with one hand. And if I don't finish the game in 5 minutes, I gotta, the whole Mr. Beast thing, I gotta eat pickles and I hate pickles. So there could be some element of like stakes that you add to your videos. There could be things that get people more interested. It's not just you playing classic games. It's, you playing classic games with a twist, but putting a better spin on it than you play with one hand. Cause that's a good start. I like that, but can you keep amping that up? I don't know if this is the style, this is the way you want to go, but it is one direction you could go. Is it guaranteed? I don't think so. I don't know. You could try it, but that's what I would be doing, is like, how can I improve this even more? Because you're in a space where you're playing games that are like, by gaming standards, 100 years old.
Okay.
So they're not being searched for right now.
Do me a favor, Dan. I want you to go into your search bar and type in Super C. See what shows up.
4 years ago, 100,000 views. Super C NES playthrough Nintendo Complete.
Now that's interesting because when I typed that on my end, that is not what showed up. Nothing about Contra showed up. So my point is, why are you typing Super C and not just typing Super Contra?
Is it a different game?
Well, Contra is Contra, but he's calling it Super C. And even if you Google search it, it doesn't come up with anything Contra related. So I think you might be doing yourself a disservice by not just typing out Super Contra if that's what the game is.
Oh, because that is what it is. Sorry, I'm just not familiar with this whole space. Yeah. Interesting.
Like,
Super C seems kind of slangy in that sense.
Yeah, like that's not going to do you any favors with the search engine optimization I was just talking about. So you might want to use the full name of the game when you are putting that in your titles and descriptions and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought that was literally the game. So yeah, there's things you can do, but I think your question that you originally asked us about your channel being dead, regardless of how popular the videos are, I'm not really sure what they're asking there. What I will say though, what you should all keep in mind is YouTube, and they've said this before, each video is going to be judged on its own. Every single video you post is going to be judged on its own. And the only reason the rest of your video history has anything to do with your latest upload is the fact that YouTube is going to first try that video on people who've watched you in the past. If people are a fan of you in general, they're always watching your videos when you post them, then those are the first people who are going to get to see your video. But that doesn't mean they're the last people that are going to get to see your video. YouTube can use them to do some early research on how good you did on your title, your thumbnail, your hook, all that fun stuff. And then it can make a determination about, will more people like this? I know viewers just like these ones who would love to watch this content too, and it will continue to spread it out. But, one video doing bad doesn't necessarily mean, oh, my channel's dead. It doesn't really work like that. But you can put yourself behind, like Viper said, if you were to take a huge break, people aren't watching you as much, but they found another way to get their fix of classic gaming content, you might have to kind of rebuild your audience over time, but you can do it. So I don't know if you've done anything here that's punishing your channel in any kind of way that's making it hard for your videos to get out there. I think it's just the nature of the space you're in. You're playing older games. You're playing games that people aren't really talking about these days. Can you play a new game one-handed? Do you want to do that? Maybe not, but it could be interesting. It could be just something interesting to try. Elden Ring with one hand, like that sounds ridiculous. I think you can get some views.
That sounds like death.
So there we go. Or play what is the traditionally like the hardest game that was ever released on NES with one hand. Maybe it's that one. Maybe they're already doing that. I don't know. I don't know enough about NES. All right. Well, that was interesting. Very interesting channel. Let's get the claw out and take another look at. Well, hold on before we do. We're at 400 here. Let's see. All right. 401. There we go. I bet number 401 is happy that I updated the claw. All right. So they are She Fires. They're doing personal self-defense. They got over 1,000 subscribers. How to pick better topics for new eyeballs.
I already have an answer for you. Oh, this is about. Okay, never mind.
All right. Cool. Let's look at the latest video.
You see how high it comes, but you can still have it halfway. All right, I had some comments about my range bag and asking me to do a review of my range bag. I got this off of Amazon, but I saw this from another shooter, and it's the GPS bag. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want it, because he showed me. Let me just start down here. This is the most impressive. So it holds.
So 30 seconds in, we're doing a product review. You do product reviews. What do you think?
I do. The problem is that if I'm coming to the channel for self-defense tactics, product reviews just does not fit in that mode. I don't know if somebody that comes to your channel expecting self-defense tutorials and things like that, I don't know if they're gonna get any value out of this particular video. So
it depends. I mean, if you're talking about things that you need or things that would make whatever it is you're trying to do easier, I think it fits personally. I think a bag that stores your weapons and things like that makes sense personally.
All right, can we go to the about section of this channel?
Yeah. Creative talent for She Fires. Subscribe to my channel for self-defense content, mainly with a firearm, but I also cover other self-defense tools and situational awareness. Subscribe here. Find me on Instagram, and then we got cool PO box, all that fun stuff.
So basically, this is weapons training. Okay.
Yeah. So be your own personal self-defense asset. So I think, but where you're coming from isn't invalid, because you're saying the channel is pitching itself as like a self-defense channel, but the first video we saw was a product review. So it's kind of like it is, but it's a little bit different than what you were expecting as like a first-time viewer.
Yeah. But to answer a question about making her topic more broadly appealing, I got 2 words for you. John Wick. I'm pretty sure you've seen the John Wick movie. And do you see what he does with firearms in this movie? You can try to talk about some of the moves that he's doing and why it works for him in certain situations. I mean, that definitely directly relates to your content. The first example I was going to bring up was Wednesday on Netflix, but that doesn't really apply because it's not firearm. But I think it's an episode 1 or 2 of Wednesday where she is literally using self-defense moves to defend herself against 3 people. And I'm like, okay, that show is all hot right now. So anything that Wednesday content related is going to get views on YouTube. So that's a certain form of self-defense that she's using. But again, for this channel, it really wouldn't apply since you're doing with more firearms. So yeah, I would say look at some of the John Wick content, movies or whatever, and see if you could mold your content around some of the stuff that John Wick is doing in the movies. And I think that will get you some views, because that's the thing. When you're doing content like this and you want to make it more broadly appealing, you have to try to find a way to integrate something that is trendy or something that the bigger audience knows about, something that's relevant out there. And when we talk about firearms and stuff like that, the first thing that comes to my mind is John Wick.
It's a really good point too, because they're making a new one. So it's trending again.
Yep.
And you can break down parts of trailers or scenes from the movies and talk about, is it realistic? You know, and I know that's a way different style of video than what we just saw, but I think it's valid. I think it's, you were asking about different content ideas, and all day we've been talking about, well, get on trending topics. Well, for you, that might be a way to go. Trending topics, so it's going to be action movies like John Wick that are already getting highly searched. And so having you come in there and say like, is this even a thing you can do? Like if you were in a real situation, is this a thing you could do? I think that's, whatever direction you go with that video, whether it's funny or you're like, actually, this is really feasible, let me show you how to do it. Like, I think in any case, that's a really interesting video idea.
Yeah, she's in the chat. She said, look to broad relevance and trending topics. Yes, absolutely. Because again, the thing that we as creators want to do, we want as many eyes on our videos as possible. But again, when people come into YouTube, they don't know who you are. So you got to find a way with your packaging, with your title and your thumbnails to get those eyes, get those clicked in. And the way that you do that is to make it relevant around a particular trending topic or something hot that's going on. And I'll give you guys a perfect example. Do you remember how many videos you saw? I think it was last year around the time that Squid Game came out on Netflix. Do you remember how many Squid Game related videos that you saw all over YouTube last year? And you saw that because people were trying to jump on that trend. And for some people, it worked. So when stuff like that happens, when there's something out there that's really trendy, really popping at that point, that's the time to jump on it. And that's why you saw all those Squid Game videos last year or the year, whatever what year it was, because Squid Game was the hot topic. Even Mr. Beast jumped on the Squid Game trend, even though he was a little late with it, but it still became his most biggest view video ever view-wise. So even Mr. Beast jumped on trends, y'all. So that's what it is.
So that's one direction you can go with your content, where you're talking about, you know, movies and things like that. Another thing you can do is go back to considering who you're making content for. And this video is a great example. 5 things you need after buying your first firearm. Fantastic example of entry-level content for, you know, the people that I feel like your channel is kind of catering to right now. You're trying to help people who are into this, whether it's for self-defense, whether it's for a hobby, whatever. This is like a really good example of like what I would imagine, you know, the types of videos you're making all the time. You're always helping people explain these with like as if they've never they've bought their first firearm. Like we're always making content for people trying to get their first 100 subscribers. It's kind of a similar deal. You're trying to make content for people who are, you know, new to this. Yep. So those are a couple different ways you can go. I don't necessarily think you would do both, but maybe you could. I would try. I would test it. There's no harm in testing it. All right. Interesting channel. Let's take a look at another gaming channel. 141. Okay. What do we got? Say Gaming 99. What am I doing wrong? I wake up and ask myself that question every single day. What now? What am I doing wrong? So I will say one thing. We're not, again, we've been going in channel audit mode a lot today, but it's justified, I think. Send your clips. That is one thing that you're doing wrong, in my humble opinion. If you're running a channel where people send you clips and you're completely relying on the content of other people, that works at first when you get, you know, your first batch of clips. But when that well runs dry and you have a whole YouTube channel to run, you start to wish you kind of made your own content. So depending on what you're doing, that could be slowing you down in a big way. But anyway, I just saw that and wanted to point it out.
Learn how to the video. Can we go to the about section?
Sure. Place to be if you're looking for quality, insightful, and entertaining content on my channel. You'll find videos that cover topics such as funny moments, coding, and more. I don't know what the coding is. Subscribe to my videos every week. Get access to exclusive content. Don't forget to click the bell.
That says nothing about gaming.
Yeah, you know what's kind of interesting about this description is I kind of feel like you copied and pasted this from a Google search on YouTube description and then maybe changed 1 or 2 words. It doesn't really tell us about what we're going to get if we subscribe to the channel, just that we should. And if you can answer this elevator pitch for yourself, it'll be a lot easier to give you direction on your content. The about section is something that people talk about as being searchable, and it is. But maybe this is an exercise for a lot of newer creators who are in the chat right now. Go into your about section and see if it does a good job of explaining what you currently feel like your channel is doing. Because again, if you have a good example, like if you have a good explanation for what it is you're doing, that's going to drive your content strategy. You're going to be able to go, okay, I said in my about section, I make videos for this particular type of person. And so that's what I'm going to do. And so it'll help you if you play a lot of different games in your channel and you keep finding yourself getting led astray, like it'll help you stay on track. No, I promised myself that I was going to be focused on this audience. And you're allowed to change your audience, but then you should change your about section. So yeah, I think that this channel could sit down and kind of use that as an exercise. You're asking us what you're doing wrong. And it might be that it doesn't feel like your channel has like much of a direction right now. Like who is this content for? What are we getting? But we haven't even watched a video yet.
Yeah,
so
let's watch the video.
I'm jumping ahead here. So learn how to make a 5M server VRP step-by-step guide. And then we got some hashtags. I know what this is because I'm familiar with 5M, but the way you wrote it, it looks like 5M. You know, capital M, maybe put a space in it. I don't know how they normally write it, but it's harder to read. It looks like a typo. And then it looks like you keyword stuffed your title. You did not write this for humans. You put hashtags in there, which is more of a TikTok thing. YouTube doesn't really use those too much. I would get rid of those. And I think what you did is you took a how-to guide and you just made it harder to approach. I'm not confident with the title, the thumbnail. I'm just not very confident here. Was there a better image you could have used to signify 5M server? Like maybe a bunch of characters standing together or something, because 5M servers are full of people who are, you know, doing all sorts of things in GTA 5. Let's not do that. I'm sorry. They asked what they were doing wrong. Did they not? Let me just double check. What am I doing wrong?
God.
Well, that. All of that in the first 5 seconds. I don't know if you're worthy to subscribe to yet. You haven't given me any value. And it was really weird. It was like a dead silent intro with some weird sound effects. And then subscribe. But wait a minute. Nothing's happened yet. Now the music's come in. Oh. Okay, so I have some text. But you have it so low on the screen, it's easy to miss. You also made it gray on a gray background, which is really hard to see. And when I pause the video to read it, the play bar is over it. And so it's even harder to read because YouTube utilizes the space for its own tools. So all of these things are working against you right now. I also think it's time to get a microphone. I'm going to be completely honest with this creator right now. And this is, again, Viper's going to laugh at me. I'm not trying to be brutal. But if I wanted to set up a 5M server and I clicked on your video, I wouldn't have gotten this far. I would have clicked off, because what I need, as someone who's tried to set up servers for my friends in the past, I've watched tutorials just like this. Cat. What I need is someone to talk me through it. I need to see visual references and I need to hear audible references. I need to know what's going on, because setting up servers is incredibly confusing for people who are not super computer savvy. So you're not giving people enough here. The value isn't there. You have the right mindset in terms of the tutorial that you were trying to make, right? Like you were trying to help people with this. And I think this is something this was a really good idea, this video, but the way you've executed it isn't working. And I think tutorial wise, you're not doing enough here for the viewer.
Dan, there's no way the video is 12 minutes long and he doesn't talk at all, or they don't talk at all. There's no way.
Let's try it a little bit longer, but they've already used captions, so I'm guaranteeing they don't talk.
Oh, man.
The music's come up louder and louder. And I'm worried that it's maybe copyright music. We probably shouldn't play it. So I can't do a tutorial like this. And I think a lot of people are going to feel the same way.
All right, can we fast forward? I need to know if the person talked at any point in the video. I just need to know if my own personal video is in here.
If they do, they cannot be heard over that music.
Oh, hell no. Are you, what? What? So we really looking at screen with all this font on it and type, and he's not talking at all?
Not talking. And then the problem is, this is what I was talking about. Do you see this? We got screens with text, like code on it.
Oh, yep. Okay, yep. I've seen enough. Yep.
This is what I was getting at. Sorry, I didn't fast forward, but I knew that this was going to come up on the thumbnail.
I don't really have much more to add than what Dan already said. You cannot make a tutorial video this detailed and not talk. I'm sorry. No. Like, if I wanted to do this, I could just buy a book or read a book online. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? Like, I need, like Dan said, I need some vocal oral guidance. Okay, I need to hear. I need you to talk to me. That's what I need. I don't need no captions on a screen. Like, no, man, no. The other question I have is at the very beginning of the video when he put up 5M and he put up server and he put that weird spelling thing. Was that the name of the server, Dan, or what was that?
Where was this?
The very beginning of the video.
Over here? Or even
going back. Right there. So play this now. Okay, you got 5 and 3. What is that? What is that? OXM. What is that?
I see MySQL. I don't know what OX MySQL is, but this is all like programming jargon basically to us.
Yeah, see, I don't know what that is. Okay, and
they might. I'm saying like the people who want to do this might.
Oh,
so it's okay.
For a broader viewer, I don't know what that is. Like, there's no explanation of what that is.
Yeah, I would say that the way this video should have started was, are you trying to set up a 5M server in Grand Theft Auto for you and your friends? Well, then this is the video for you. Like, we need to hear someone talking, and this is very intimidating. But the fact that people want to set up the server, but with no coding experience at all, that's out there. People want to know how to do that, and creators are going to show them how. So you need to approach this in the sense that people might not know what MySQL even is, and that's not anyone's concern. You're going to show them. You're going to show them, and it's going to be great. They're going to learn how to set the server up. By the end of this video, you're going to have a server. But the confidence I have as a viewer isn't there. And then when we skip ahead and we see what you're showing, but you're showing all these steps that you don't necessarily need to show, and we have like we can't read the text. Are we at the highest quality right now? I mean, we're at 720, but I can go up to 1080. And that is still not legible. I'm my cat sitting on my keyboard. If I make this full screen, like I cannot read this.
And you're on a computer. Imagine somebody trying to do this on a phone.
Right. I'm full screen now, and this is not readable to me. So it's all of these things for your viewer need to be considered when you're making this type of content. And we gotta have you talking. We can't have tiny little captions. So to answer your question, those are the things that we feel you could do to improve.
Yep.
I want to say some positives here. You do have a focus on Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. There's a lot of crossover there. That's great. And I think you've been practicing with thumbnails and titles, and I think that's good too. But a lot of room for improvement here, and I hope nobody took this as like too critical. We're genuinely trying to help.
Indeed. All right.
Couple things.
Yeah. Number one, shout out to Victoria. Victoria, I see you out there moderating like an absolute boss. I appreciate you being here. I know you were here yesterday too, but since I'm here and I see what you're doing out there, Victoria, I want to appreciate what you're doing out there. So thank you. And thank you to all the rest of our moderators for doing an awesome job out there moderating. So thank you all for that. Death Wish said, channel trailer, yes or no? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
What are you talking about? No.
No.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Why do you think they should have a channel trailer?
Why do you think they shouldn't?
No, I know you said, I know you first.
Okay. I will tell you.
Okay.
After this break. No, I'm kidding. Channel trailer, in my opinion, and I guess this is subjective, is really important because it's going to tell people what you're about when they visit. So, okay, let me step back because I already see your eyes are like getting big. Imagine you come to a channel, you've never seen them before. You know how you're always going on about channel banners and about sections and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, those are good because people, if they're seeing those things, they're investigating you. They're trying to determine, should I even subscribe to this channel in the first place? Rob has a video about this. He found out that the subscribe button on the front page of a channel on YouTube, that actually turns out to be the one that people click the most. That is the subscribe button. I'm trying to find an example here. This subscribe button right here happens to be the #1 clicked subscribe button. So that's why I think you should have a channel trailer. It doesn't necessarily, maybe our definition, Viper, is like what the problem is. For us, our channel trailer is literally just a popular video that we did because we feel like that's the best representation of who we are. I don't think you have to make like a, hello, I am Bob and welcome to my channel. I don't think you need to do that, but I think you should, this space should have something in it.
Okay.
Because we have the banner, we have your name, and this is like a really good way. If I don't like reading about sections, this is a really good way to be like, what's this channel even about? And this subscribe button is the one people are clicking the most. So I think filling this out, this whole thing, is super important.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like we do have a failure of communication here. I agree with you. The space should be used, yes.
Okay.
But what you should not do, like Dan alluded to, is have a dedicated video talking about what's going to happen on your channel and all that. That is prime.
Boring.
Yes, exactly right. So we actually agree. That is prime real estate. And that prime real estate, as Dan talked about, should be to your most popular video or one of your most recent upload. That's what I do. Every time I upload a new video, I just make that space my most recent upload, and that's how I do, because obviously that should be the best representation of your channel at that point. Usually is your most recent upload or maybe your most popular video. But it should not be a dedicated video about what your channel's about, blah, 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 blah. No, man. They can read the about section for that. They can look at your playlist for that. That video, that space should be the best representation of you as a creator. And it is not making a whole dedicated video about your channel trailer. Do not do that. But definitely utilize the space. So we actually agree.
Yeah. I kind of wondered as I was talking, like, I bet you it's just the idea that because channel trailers were treated like that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel. And here you're going to find, just lead with your best foot forward. Like put your coolest video there and update it. Don't just leave it.
Shout out to Dak Chat for the $2 super chat. That even if I don't even if I don't get picked, really fun, good stream. Well, thank you. I mean, you almost had a fight on here. So we are happy to provide this amazing content to y'all. And again, shout out to all of you all for being here and watching today. It's always a pleasure coming here and rocking with you all and just being able to provide some insight that you could take to make your channel better and become a better creator. So thank you for being here.
Indeed. Let's take a look. We got 437. All right, fine. We'll add more to the claw. $390. 390 on the non-gaming form. You make shorts. Noah Stump. They make relatable videos. Okay. And wait, what? What am I doing wrong?
Like
2 times?
This is a popular question.
2 times in a row. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Okay.
Don't
show
worry,
of hands. Does everyone want to know what they're doing wrong?
Dan is definitely going to tell you what you're doing wrong.
Making an almost funny video almost every day. That's kind of funny. Road to 500 subscribers. All right. This is a lot of views. Why don't we'll watch a couple.
I'm the problem.
Hear me.
Maybe I'm the problem. No. Maybe I'm the problem.
Okay, I'm trying to get a sense of what they're doing here. Let's see.
Where's your laces at?
Where my laces at?
Yeah.
Where your dad?
Oh, okay. You're doing TikTok type memes and things. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay,
I can see why that one got 11,000 views.
I got the zero judge. You're doing the TikTok type meme video, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I have anything to like. I don't know if you're doing necessarily anything wrong. Does he make long videos or they're just short?
Just shorts. This is one rare time we don't see the long tab.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think you're on the right path. How many subscribers does this person have?
They're on the road to 500 subscribers.
Oh yeah, way. Hey, and unfortunately, I don't know how long you've been doing it because YouTube must be. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the about page.
It showed in the description. Remember, description. So, you mean? Sorry, do you mean the whole channel?
Yeah, I mean the whole channel.
Okay, sorry, I thought you meant the video. October 12th, 2020.
Okay. All right, so yeah, I mean, obviously, it kind of be hard to me to tell like how long you've been doing this and how recently you've been taking it seriously. But I mean, you're on the right path, man. The only thing I can say to you is just to continue to make more content. Just keep making more videos.
Yeah. I think for me, and again, comedy subjective, I liked this one the best out of the 3 we watched.
Yep.
This one was the most relatable. And you said you're making relatable content, which I kind of laughed at because I'm like, what does that even mean? But I understand now what you meant. Like, you're trying to make content that the average viewer could be scrolling by and they could see this and go, oh, yep, been there. And it's going to be hit and miss is kind of what I'm getting at. You're going to have ones like this that are super relatable and funny and they get tons of views. And you're going to have ones like this where you kind of had an idea and you tried it, and it's good that you tried it. It's good that you uploaded it. It just didn't really take off like you thought it would, because maybe it wasn't relatable enough, or maybe YouTube is going to try it again someday, and it might, who knows? It might take off.
Did we click the Harry Potter video?
No.
Can we click that one?
Sorry, music.
Yeah, no wonder you didn't get that many views on that one, bro. You up that all the Harry Potter hit. Yo, Harry Potter is a movement. You can't mess with them.
So I need to clear my head. Some of them are just music. Interesting transition there. I wonder if you were to, keep working on your production quality too. Because I noticed this in the ones where it's like where we can actually see you in the video. It's a bit grainy. Like there's just some quality kind of missing there. And when you look at videos like this on TikTok, I kind of feel like they're sharper. You know? So that could just be one of your incremental improvements, is trying to work on your lighting. Maybe it's settings in your phone's camera that you can play with. Maybe you use an older phone, and hopefully, like over the holidays, you get something, even a bit of an upgrade. But this video looks a lot more sharp. So maybe when things are closer to the lens, they look sharper. Like, so I would keep, playing around with stuff like that. But yeah, this is a really good start. I think you're doing a lot of things right, and it's going to be a little bit bumpy, but that's okay.
Yep.
All right. We got a question here I want to answer. Does YouTube really try videos again? How long after they go down in viewership? You're both awesome.
Well, thank you.
Simsima, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. YouTube does try videos again. It's never guaranteed in my experience, but the thing that seems to help is when you update them. And that doesn't necessarily help for shorts. Shorts is like its own thing. And sometimes shorts, like they do this, then they do this, and then they die and they're dead for a while. And then suddenly they resurrect. They just come back. I have no explanation for that. I think YouTube's still just learning. But when it comes to long form videos, I found the thing that helps the most is changing the title or the thumbnail, or both. If you wake up one day and you have an old video and you're like, oh, that was such a good video, and I think I have like a really good idea how I can change this, do it. Update older videos. Go in. I wouldn't make this a practice where you prioritize it over new videos, but maybe there's one time a month you go through your channel and you start to like update a few older videos. Maybe you give yourself 3 videos a month where you're going to go through and you're going to see if there's any that could use a little bit of tweaking. We're starting to do this ourselves. It's just like a re-optimization effort we have going on right now in the background. And we are kind of targeting older videos that we feel either didn't do as well as they should have done, or they did really well in their day, but we thought of a better title and thumbnail. They're not doing as well anymore. Maybe we can get them back. And it works. But it's, again, never guaranteed. And another thing you can do is this is where when people talk about the community tab and they talk poop about it, I'm like, you don't even know though. When you have a community tab rather that's been cultivated and you get a lot of views on polls and you've done a really good job at driving engagement over there, once in a while, you can throw a video in there. You can throw a link, and it should be with a poll or something, so YouTube doesn't take over that bottom section with just the video link, because that doesn't really work. But if it's a post with like a poll or an image, and then you link a video to it, and that video happens to relate to it, like we've tried that, and we've actually gotten thousands of views that way just by putting the video on a community tab. So like a little secret I have related to this is today I changed a thumbnail on a video that I thought should have done better. But this one was a very recent one, so I will show you. So this was our new guide on getting your first 100 subscribers. And generally speaking, videos do pretty well, but we do a lot of them, and I think it's kind of competing with some of our older ones. And I wanted to do something to kind of kick it up a notch. So I changed the thumbnail, and we're starting to see it come up here a little bit, right? See this bump? This is about when I changed the thumbnail. The secret, though, is I use the community tab to try and get this video back out there even faster. So I made a poll this morning where I asked people, are you working on 100 subscribers right now? And I let them vote on that, but I also just included a link right here at the end. And you can see we almost have 10,000 votes. People are actively voting on this, and some of them are choosing to click the link. And what I'm trying to do is get YouTube to take this video even quicker than I think I think changing the thumbnail is going to help. I like that thumbnail better, but this could help even more because now people are getting reintroduced to the video. That means the click-through rate's going to change. That means some signals to YouTube are going to start changing, and there's a chance that maybe faster it'll put it out there. We've tried this before, and it's actually worked a few times. It's never, again, this is not guaranteed what I'm trying today. But yeah, so there's things you can do to kind of help videos out. And again, it's just one more reason to cultivate that really strong community tab presence.
Ooh, do y'all need a fire dance putting out there? Oh my goodness, I love it. Wow. Awesome trip. Awesome tip, Dan. Awesome tip.
Did we see another super chat in there? Or disappeared?
Oh, no. I just took that one away, but we're good. We are done here.
All right. Cool. We did it. We did the thing. You all did great. Except for those of you who didn't. And you need work. You need work on your channels.
So basically what we're trying to gently say is that you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
No, you can stay. We have lots of videos to watch. We talked about a lot of topics today. We got a lot of free content to watch. We talked about thumbnails, we talked about titles. We talked about getting people to stick around. And this whole channel is just about that constantly. We're just like broken records, constantly finding new ways to help you get your first 100 subscribers, to help you get better click-through rates. Check it out. Check out the rest of the channel. Check us out on Tuesday for channel audits. Friday, we'll have a new video going out. Cool. Thank you, Viper. Thanks for your help today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for everybody for being here and sharing your channels with us. We'll see you next time.